All right. Well, we can just sit here and banter and talk about how this is going to go. Say, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Josh? Hey, what's up, Luke? The whole thing. Luke, you're going to have to do an intro. I hate to say it. You're going to do it off the cuff.
I'm going to have to do an intro. Okay. Yep. All right.
You can do it off the fly.
Let's go. Let's just do it off the fly, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Hold on. We're not starting yet. You got to loosen up. You got to get the brain waves moving.
I was trying to find... Lance, I wrote down like those questions that I asked you on the episode 1, and then at the end of it, I was like, all right, questions for Josh in a way. And I can't find it now. So we'll figure it out. So that was probably when I told you, I said, all right, we're probably not going to at all like have anything staged. We're just going to shoot the breeze, just talk about life. The whole thing.
I'm about that. We should for sure. There should be an introduction. Obviously, I can like chime in, but it's this pod is Legends Ridge, where we bring people on just to get to know about them. Say the whole thing. I'll chime in when I need to. Introduce Josh Conley. I'll tap in and talk about the first time I met him and my first thoughts about him. Why is Josh's camera? Why are you look so?
It's really
grainy.
Bad. So grainy. What laptop are you using? Is that a Windows Vista?
No, it's a good one. Hold on, it's probably sturdy. Honestly, does it still look the same? Or it's probably maybe the light.
No, I don't think it's a light thing. I think it's
you're a little choppy too. Is your internet bad?
Yeah, he moved out to bumfuck nowhere, Tennessee.
I got that good internet.
Did they just get internet out there in old Lewis County?
Shit.
So it says actual recording is higher quality, so I guess it'll be better. But me and Luke are very clear. I do have a third-party camera, so I expected that from my end.
Hey, let me ask you something. Are you going to burp on, like, while we're doing this in the microphone?
I might. I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do, brother.
I'm wondering if the listeners really want to hear, belching.
Yeah, we'll see. I might. It's not working, Josh.
Yeah, on my end, looking at it, it's not the best, but it's not bad. You and me look about the same, Lance, and then Luke's is pretty clear on my screen.
That's right. Lance's does look a little bit whatever, but it's probably more of who's in the frame than...
Honestly, it's fine. It's good enough.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys something. If I type, can y'all hear this? No?
Yeah. No, not really. No, not very much. Okay, yeah. So do an introduction, say what the podcast is, talk about what it's about, and you can go off the cuff. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Then I'll chime in, and then you got structure behind it. So you're running the show with the following of questions. I'm thinking it'll be about. I don't know. We did 30 minutes last time, Luke, I think, and it felt short. But I'm okay with between like 30, 45 minutes. Let's just say, let's whenever we do start, let's just say we got to get off anyways because we have happy hour. So 2:45 is the latest we'll go.
Okay.
Or an hour from now, Luke, whatever time it is for you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I think we're learning. We're growing. This is great. All right, let me go ahead and do this here. You ready?
Yeah, give me a clap whenever you're ready.
So you need one of those little... All right, ready? And marker.
Perfect.
Welcome to the Legends Ridge podcast. I'm your host, Luke Runyon. Alongside of me is my co-host, Lance Runyon, and brother, but we'll get into that later. Welcome to episode 2. We are incredibly excited.
Time out. You're coming in so loud, Luke. I think you need to back up a little bit from your mic or turn it down.
Okay.
Am I right, Josh, or am I wrong? Is it fine?
Maybe a little bit, but
that mic picks up really well, so just don't get right up on it and talk as loud as you are.
All right. Well,
That's perfect. What you're doing now is perfect.
That work?
All right. Give me another clap.
And marker. Welcome, everyone, to the Legends Ridge Podcast, Episode 2. I am your host, Luke Runyon, co-host Lance Runyon, and brother. We'll get to that later. We are incredibly excited to have our guest on today. Obviously, in the first episode, we had some comments about this person, and we were like, we got to bring him on so people know who he is. This is Legends Ridge Podcast, where we bring legends to the Ridge to talk about life, captivating stories, conversations, challenges, wisdom, you name it. Either way, we're just going to be hanging out, having good old-fashioned conversation. So, with that, Lance Runyon, you want to introduce our guest to the show?
Yeah, Josh, welcome to the pod.
Thank you, guys.
That was quick. No,
Great to be here.
no introduction.
Yeah, dude. What was that? You were long-winded over there with your intro.
You know how I be. All right, I am long.
No, I'm playing. No, Josh. Yeah, you were. The first episode, I went. Luke interviewed me. The rest of the episodes, me and Luke are going to be doing interviews with a bunch of the legends at the Ridge. You were brought up a bunch.
You
have been a homie since day one.
A key player in Lance's story, I will say.
Very much so. A lot of sway, but also kind of a bitch sometimes. But that goes hand in hand. You know, you can't have the heights without the lows, you know?
That's right back at you.
Quit bullying, Lance. Be careful.
Oh, no. I can bully all I want here, baby. This is free.
This is you. Well, anyway, let's jump right into it, Josh. I just want to know, because we're going to kind of transition from episode 1 where we talked to Lance about his story and what made him join Waits, what made him be in this company, traveling, all of that. And you got brought up as sitting there at Bricks Cafe, and he just said, hey, do you want to do this? I just want to know what was going through your mind when he talked to you for the first time about this company.
Not a lot. It was just because all we knew was how much you were getting paid. I think that would be going to New Jersey, and it would be a few weeks. And I was just like, cool, that sounds pretty, that sounds different, whatever. Didn't know about the job at all, like zero description on the job itself. And we're just like, sitting there having dinner. He brings it up, and yeah, I'm all for it. I was instantly just like, that sounds.
What were you eating? Because Lance said Parmesan chicken pasta was probably what he had at Bricks. And what was your go-to when you were working there?
Well, it might have been the tortilla club. I ate that a lot because that was just a nice little cheap one too, like just easy. Or the barbecue chicken pizza, for sure. Man.
For those of y'all that don't know, listening, Bricks Cafe, we've talked about it a lot, but this is kind of a mom and pop type place that, you could get a burger and a draft beer, or you could also get a steak dinner. So it's kind of one of those in-between places that had some amazing, amazing food. And even to this day, I am traveling everywhere I go and still trying to find a place that's very similar, but can't find it.
Yeah, that was a special spot. That
was very unique.
That employee discount too. That's why you went Chicken Tortilla Club. It was $8, but you got it for $4.
Yeah, take it.
Ooh.
So cheap. Yeah, so good. I mean, it was great.
Yeah. Josh, do you remember whenever I was talking to you about that? I don't know if there was any resistance on your end as soon as I told you the money and the fact that we weren't even sure it would be a full-time thing.
No, because I think when it came up, however long later, we asked where we're, the restaurant, we asked them about if we left for a couple weeks or going to try it out, and they were going to let us do that. So, I mean, I wasn't too worried about that because we did come back to the restaurant for a month or less. And then this time they were like, hey, if you leave again, we're not letting you come back. And we're like,
oh, they did? Yeah, they gave you an ultimatum. Wow.
And we did it. We just were like, nah, we're going to do this new job. And it turned out pretty damn good.
Yeah, we weren't sure. I mean, like the with Waits or whatever, we weren't sure like if there was going to be consistent work, but we were like, well, I mean, this is way better than what we've been doing in the restaurant. And if they really won't have us back, we'll just figure some other restaurant out or do something different. Like it was just, we had to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, Josh, it sounded like Lance was like, we're going to be making this at much hourly. And you were like, yep, sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that number yet in my life. So I was just like, cool, let's go try it.
Where was y'all's first install? New Jersey?
Yeah, Linden, New Jersey, I believe. It's like, it is kind of a small place, but like some good chicken parm sandwiches at our, like, we had this one spot that was really good for dinner that we'd have to Uber. It's like 15 minutes away. We'd have to Uber over and go get it and stuff. But it was,
I mean, even though going to New Jersey, like, was that y'all's first time ever being there?
yeah, first time.
First time ever. And then I always hear people complain about New Jersey, like they hate it. But like, do y'all like it? What's y'all's take on New Jersey?
We were on the south side.
Weird.
I'm sure y'all were also like on a high with everything going on, so it didn't matter where you were located. But
Yeah, it depends on where you're at in New Jersey. Obviously, if you're more towards the city or New York side, it's very industrial, smoggy. But if you get on the south side of it, it's similar to Nashville, honestly. Green grass everywhere. And like
Our hotel was off a interstate exit, and then there was like a couple factories nearby. So it was like right where we were staying, nothing going on. Barely, maybe one fast food restaurant too. So yeah, we'd have to Uber like into the town itself to do anything, and there was barely anything at that place too.
Yeah, some of these other guys don't realize that there was a time before rentals were just passed out like candy. And we had to walk or Uber everywhere.
Everywhere. What hotel did they have you staying in too? Was it like a La Quinta or Best Western or something? Or was it? Okay.
It was a nice one too, like a new, where you had the desk in the middle of the room and the TV mounted where it swivels like towards your bed or towards the living room area. It was a pretty
bed.
solid one.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, going into that hotel was I like recorded it. I walked in, looked at it, I was like, got to back it up. First time walking in, opened the door. Like it was way better than I expected.
And so began the content phase of Lance Runyon's life.
Early.
It was a little, honestly.
Early, premature. Josh, when you got that money and that hours, and you got that first paycheck, what was your first purchase?
I couldn't tell you, man.
I think when we were talking with Lance, I remember he bought shoes, he bought a PlayStation. He was like, I'm going all out.
Well, we balled out.
I will say, yeah. So we had went from Jersey to Sacramento, California, and then they had asked us to go to Dallas for the weekend. So we get to Dallas, and there's a Tanger, whatever outlet, like right there across from our hotel. And it's like brand new, like it opened that weekend. Like somebody at the store, working at the store, said something to me about it, like it just opened. I spent probably almost $1,000 that day. It was like sunglasses, pair of shoes, a watch, whatever, like several just different things like that, some clothes.
Splurging.
Yeah, he actually kind of like went bigger than I did too. I was like blown away that he was like willing to do that. I'd never spent that kind of money at an outlet mall, and I was like, "Damn, Josh!" Like,
that's my only time too. Like really the only time, but it was like I did it. It was a fun time. I would never do it again. I'm just really? I'm like shit. Too much money for this type of stuff.
Way too much. So how long were you out on the road that first time?
I want to say like 5 weeks.
And that was working 7 days a week? 10-hour days?
I think most of the time, like the first 2 to 3 weeks was 7 days a week, 10 to 12 hours. Because there was days where we were with James, he was the lead, and he's like, "Hey, I need to stay an hour and a half, 2 hours more to look at this." And he's like, "You guys, you're riding with me. Like, do you want to hang out?" And we'd help with a few things, or sometimes we just kind of have to wait on him before, like, to be done with his task. And then we would leave. So like those first couple weeks, that's how it was like up to 80 hours, just because.
Oh my gosh,
10-hour days, and then a couple days we like hung back with him to do whatever. But I feel like we had a couple of days off, maybe like near Sacramento. Like maybe we were waiting on some supplies or some stuff happening, because I don't feel like we were going as hard around that time. Like we were still doing a lot, but
yeah, it trailed off. It was more, I mean, there was more like troubleshooting and stuff. Like it was different than just like the 3,000 point install right off the rip. So,
and we went to the second location in Jersey, and I don't think we worked that long of days there, because that place was a nightmare. So I don't remember being there for like 12 hours a day, because I don't know if I would have made it. Like it was awful.
No, it was bad. So the first one we went to, there was two going on at the same time. One was EWR4, one was EWR9. They're about 45 minutes from each other, both in New Jersey. And that other one was their team. It was so bad they left. That's why we had to go, because they all bounced. They were like, nah, we're done. I don't want to do this anymore. They took their money and ran. And then me, Josh, and James had to go back and fix a lot of their mistakes that they made. And oh my God, it was a rat's nest.
Jason was there, because Jason worked with the temp agency, so he was coming to there, because we almost got in trouble one day because he bent over and you couldn't see him between the beds, and safety like came out and was like, "Hey, you got to come talk to me. Like you stuck you went under the bed," and he's like, "No, I didn't. I like bent over," and they're like, "Well, we couldn't see your head," and he's like, "Yeah, because I was bent over towards the ground, but like caused this big thing." That was like the second day there, and we're like, we really hate this place. Like, this is too much.
That's horrible. Who was it that who was it that broke the news to Jason that he was getting paid terrible money compared to you guys?
That was months later.
It was months later. I figured it would be first install. Y'all were talking about money and just being, that was what we make.
A different guy that happened to, essentially, not Jason though, like another temp agency guy.
Yeah. Jason didn't start off on the hottest foot either. If you want to go ahead and tell that story, Josh.
Yeah, what do we got here?
We didn't, know much about him yet. It was probably a week of knowing him, week and a half, and we're sitting there. I think we're all just kind of waiting to hear like what to go do. And in the Amazon building, the yellow structures everywhere. So like the yellow bar is holding up a bed, and it's got the cross beams just sitting there. So we're talking about like we need to go get a ladder, or got to use a ladder to work. And I'm sitting on this thing kind of with my arm on it, my foot on it. And we're talking about getting a ladder, and like the stuff that we're talking about is right above me. And he just like says to me, he's like, "Hey, well, don't use that as a ladder though. Like that's not a ladder."
Yeah, he was like, "That's not a ladder."
And I'm like, "Well, what? Like I'm not climbing it. Like, why are you telling me this?" And I'm just like the type of person, just little stuff like that. It's like, what are you doing? Like, don't tell me that. Like I know what's going on.
That's the thing about Josh.
You're like 19. Get out of here.
Yeah,
that's the thing about Josh. If you question his intelligence at all like that, you're out. And he's going to be bitching about you for a solid 24 hours.
A good while.
Yeah, I was very upset about this. And then he really redeemed himself hard. I mean, just like 2 days later, just telling this funny joke about a guy that we'd worked with Amazon or whatever. The guy talks to me and Lance. That guy walks away. Jason walks up and he says, "So what was he talking about this time? Guns, girls, or trucks or something?" And I was like, that's a good one. I was like, all right, this guy
all right. All is forgiven.
Yeah, I was like, maybe we just had a bad moment. Like he's pretty funny.
Yeah. Was there anyone on those original installs that you guys just could not stand being around?
Kenny.
There was a Kenny.
Oh, well, yeah. Kenny, he was our lead in Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
I don't
and
remember
he just setting long hours, like just being tough.
Well, I think it was the first day. We were working night shift too, so this was awful. But it was like meeting at 10 p.m. or something, 9 p.m. He didn't come out till he was an hour late, essentially. Like we just sat in the lobby and waited. Me and
He's
Lance
got the rental.
And Bennett, I think, was with us too for this. But we just waited. And when he came out, he was like, "Why nobody called my room?" Or like all this stuff. And we're like, "Oh, we didn't know. Like we're just here. Like I don't know what you expect."
Blaming his tardiness on you guys
immediately.
Pretty much.
Like,
yep. That's his MO though.
What?
Nothing was his fault.
Oh no! Yeah, get him out of here. Why did he leave? Was he just done with the job, or did he get let go?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Not sure that story.
He was doing some weird stuff. Like he was like, I think taking more things into his hands than he had to. Like he was trying to really do everything with the I don't know. He had some weird stuff going on, but yeah, he was not a good boss leader. Like he was shit.
Yeah.
Awful.
Josh, you've been an OG team lead, like the longest running team lead that Waits has had. How long was it from technician to lead for you?
About 10 months, 9 to 10, like from our very first day and like at the end of September of that year, because it was like July. I did that Houston Q2 project, but it was me and Bennett together.
Mm-hmm.
So Bennett
and they like was like you're going to lead it, but Bennett's there, or
Bennett started it because he was already a lead, and I like did some stuff with him, and then I took it over at the end, and I did really bad.
Yeah. How so? What happened?
Planning wise, because we had 5 new people that were terrible. I think we had a downtime because Lance and who came with you? You and somebody else. Trey Taylor. Did he join us, I think, in Houston, right?
Could have been. I can't remember.
Yeah, it could have been him.
I think you two joined us because I was already there, and Harris was already there. He was already on the team, so I remember that we were all doing some stuff together. But so Lance only came for a couple of days, had 5 new people, had Scott, Mike West, who else?
So your first lead experience was all new people?
Yeah. It was pretty new, which at this point there wasn't many veterans. Like the only veterans would have been like Jonathan. Like that was
this is before we had a training process and everything too. So like I showed up and like Josh trying to lead the site, and I was like, okay, well I guess I'm gonna have to be the bad guy here and like correct work and do all that, which I didn't know what I was doing at that point either.
Yeah,
but it was bad. It was rough. It was a rough site. I think was Choppa there, and then what was his name? Was started with a Q.
Quentin. Yeah, and Natalie. Like, yeah, it was a bad bunch. They weren't doing the worst all the time, but just overall to like plan stuff out and like think about how long it takes people to do stuff. Like, not a good group.
How long did it take you to get like in the swing of things as a lead and be comfortable in it?
Probably at least almost a year where I was like, here we go. Like, this is just.
You think San Antonio was probably the best one? Your first best one?
Yeah, that was the next one after. So that was my second. Like, that was my first one, just me starting it as the lead. And that went good just because we had special rules the one time for whatever reason where they're letting you go under the panned part of the bed of the conveyance. Like, they were like, you can go under there, but that's the only part. So we were just going crazy, crushing numbers and going under the beds and doing this and that. So that was a little easy, but like still not much structure to say. Like, it was just easy to be like, I got these good guys with me. They're going to go kill it.
Yeah.
We got like extra rain that we usually don't have, but it probably took a little while for me to be like, I planned this out well type feeling.
Yeah, set all the structure and everything. I'll never forget. I'm just sidetracking on a story here. So I show up to LGB7. That's my very first install, and Josh picks me up and loved it because I was like, hadn't seen Josh in 2 years or so. And he's like, you want to just pop over to the site? We're kind of helping this other team out. And I show up with Josh on site, and we're just walking through this Amazon facility, and I don't have anything. Like, I don't have anything on. I have nothing. But Josh is like walking me through. And Mason Campbell walks up to me and Josh and just looks at me without even introducing himself, without saying hey to Josh, just looks at Josh and was like, he can't be out here without a vest. What are you doing, Josh? And you just looked at him like, it's not a big deal, man. Like, not a problem. But I'll never forget, like, that was my first introduction to Mason. And I guess as an Amazon site, I'm like, this is crazy. This is awesome. And you're like trying to explain different things to me, but you were so just calm and collected. Like, you've been doing it for forever. And that's one of the coolest things about you, Josh, about being a lead is like, yeah, I'm just here to do it. Like, we're here to get a job done.
Yeah, no reason to freak out unless you really need to. That's what I tell.
It's that restaurant industry experience, man. You got to have it. Like, you got to know that chaos. It's like, that's just part of it.
Yeah, Josh is really good at flying under the radar and getting it done. He doesn't make any noise while he's doing it. Nothing. Just walk in, get it done, and get out.
Yeah. Play disc golf.
Sure.
In between.
Play disc golf and enjoy it. Sweet. We can transition. Speaking of that, we can transition into right at like outside of work activities. What is your go-to workout? Or we work for 4 a.m. to 2 in the afternoon. What's your routine after you get off of work?
Well, so usually right when I get back, call Allison, tell her I'm back.
Smart man right there. She's gonna be
that's new though. Later. That wasn't early on.
She's gonna be listening. Like, that's right, Josh. That's exactly what.
No, yeah, not early. This is like probably just within the last year or a little more. It's just one of those things. It's like, because especially if I have other stuff planned soon, I go ahead and like want to talk for a minute before I get in the shower. Pretty much, because there's times I sit there and I'm like, it's been almost 30 minutes. I'm talking to you before I get in the shower. I'm like, I feel nasty. Like, I'm gonna.
Yeah. Oh, that's point. Yeah.
But it just happens where we're just talking about whatever. But yeah, I'll call her, get in the shower. Either we already got something planned or people are chiming in. So I'm usually most days open to see what everybody else wants to do, whether it's like hang out at the patio, go play disc golf. For me, I'm trying to go on a hike, possibly. Like, every time I tell people I want to go on a hike or do hiking, it's like, I'm not trying to go on a 5-mile hike. Like, I want a 1-mile hike, a 2-mile. Like, I just want to go see a nice view and come back. Because, like, if you're in wherever California, it's 30 minutes away every direction. So, depending where I'm at, that's one of the go-tos. Like, just going to see something cool like that.
Yeah, you got any hikes that stand out? Any places?
I'm gonna say this one for the top one, just because I've been there a few different times now. Just because, so it was near San Bernardino. So like Lance, we were all at that install near San Bernardino. Mm-hmm. So me and Jonathan and Zach went to this place. Jonathan might have found it, I think, and I have some pictures and videos. Like, we might have some on the channel posted with it. But it's just got these cool rocks with like these big holes in them. You can go like sit in them, do all kinds of shit. You can drive your car down on this dirt path, and it goes under like train tracks and everything. Like, it's a very cool little spot. And then that's just like the base of the mountain. And then you drive up the mountain. And when I was with Jonathan, it was like May or June when we were all doing that install together there. We drive up, 20 minutes later, we get to a part where it's snowing and like you can't see anymore. Like, if you drive any further, you can't see. So we went from like 50, 60 degrees. It was early in the morning to snow, like in an instant.
And this was, you said May, June?
Yeah, this was May or June.
In Cali.
What?
The elevation in this area was like, it's a pretty tall spot, but it's called a Circle Mountain.
Okay.
But we went there, and then just a couple months ago, I was nearby that area in Ontario with some of the guys, and me and Mikey and Zamar, I took them to that same spot because I'm like, I know it's here. I know it's dope. Let's go see it. They loved it. Like, and we even this time, like, we got up to the spot where last time it was snowing like crazy, and it wasn't snowing this time, and it was, April. So I guess we just caught a weird time the first time around. But there was a path there that we didn't really notice last time, and the weather was bad, and so we hiked this trail a little bit, made it even a little bit better, like just another thing we added on. So it's like, if I ever go there again, I'm looking for the next thing to add on to that little trip, but I've been there a few different times, and that's like one of my top.
As often as you've traveled to California, do you still like going out there?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part. Like the flight is the
that flight is
longest.
Horrible. Literally, I'm out here in San Diego, and I got to the airport in Cincinnati at 7 a.m. and I got pulled up to the hotel because of all the flights and travel and rental car and everything at like 5:15 p.m. my time. So, yeah. I mean, that's a whole day.
Near 12 hours or more at that point.
Yeah. And then when you go back, I mean, even if you take an early flight, you're landing at whatever time late in the evening. So it's wild. I've gotten to the point where, I mean, California it's nice, but it's so expensive out here too. I mean, everything is significantly more expensive.
I like that Ontario area. Like, I've been there so many times that I'll go there whenever just because it's really nice, and even near Tracy, California, just because, like, same thing. Okay. I've been there a bunch. There's quite a few things. Disc golf course is there. This one, Swinson Park.
That one?
Yep. It's in Stockton, California, right there, and it's one of our all-time favorites.
When did disc golf get started in this world? Like, I don't. Memphis. It was not for a long, and then all of a sudden it just took off. That was like the thing to do.
It was Memphis.
Well, I will say the first time that I played it was Spokane, Washington.
Oh, y'all did there?
Yeah, I think Johnny took us.
Sounds
so
about
first
right.
time, yeah, and that place was dope. I mean, like, big tall trees, but like, you know, like there wasn't like limbs or brush anywhere, so it's just big tree trunks, like open field kind of thing. And it was just, I don't know, it clicked at that moment that I was like, oh, you get to go explore in nature and see, and you know, you're traveling all over the world, so it's just different elements every time. Sometimes you go to Arizona, it's desert. Like, different elements happen that it's this free opportunity to go walk around in nature. Memphis, we did go quite a bit.
That's the first time I had played, and I think a lot of us, because I think Raul was there with us, and that's where he. As soon as that was, I think that was his first time.
Oh yeah, Raul.
He got addicted like a crack addict.
He was so addicted. He was the first one that really, I would say, started getting the bag and the different disc, and you know, he would talk about all the time playing, and
he started working out specifically for disc golf.
Specifically for disc golf. I remember that, which is awesome to see, like somebody just picking up a hobby and just being incredibly passionate about it, and still to this day. I mean, years later, it's not like it was just a fad that phased out. It's very admirable.
I think he got a lot of us to do it too, because he would just be like, "I'm going to go if anybody wants to go," and eventually, and he always had extra discs.
That Josh,
he had glow in the dark discs.
Yes, he did. Do you remember in Des Moines, Josh, when it was like 7 degrees outside and 10 inches of snow, and he was like, "I'm going to play disc golf," and they went, and you and I were like, "Screw that! That is not worth it." Yeah, I was like, I don't have my parka or parka. Is it a parka? I don't have my parka. I don't have my snow boots or anything. Like, what am I supposed to do? And they were miserable. I remember Raul getting back being like, that sucked, and I was like, yeah, we could have told you that, man.
Like, I barely see the basket. There was so much snow. Like, not worth it.
Yeah.
I will say, I do think that I'm calling it now. The next fad of weights is going to be pickleball.
You think, man? I'm
certain of it.
With paddle, I mean, are people going to play with, like, bring paddles and
they bring discs
now?
Yep,
discs.
They're small enough.
I mean, the discs are. I don't know. I haven't seen the size of the paddles. Are they heavy too? Like, is that weight in a suitcase?
No. It's going to be a fad. I promise.
Pickleball has been crazy, especially in Cincinnati. All those Midwesterners and retirees started playing it all the time. And now it's gotten to the point where it's just in casual conversation. Like, people are like, "What'd you do this past weekend?" Pickleball. Like, we had this tournament, or we did this. And that's when you know it's really taken off, when somebody will freely say, you know, nobody's like, "What'd you do this past weekend?" "I went grocery shopping." Like, now that they're actually saying pickleball, like,
all it's going to take is one team, one person to get a few guys out there, and it'll be a hit.
Are there enough courts now? I mean,
they're everywhere. Yeah,
they are everywhere now.
Any public recreation center, they have it. It's a hybrid of ping pong and tennis, so it's not as taxing as tennis, but it's like smaller court. It's good. It's a good time.
I'd be down. I still haven't played.
I haven't played either. I mean, but I'm sure it'd be fun. Have you played, Lance?
Yeah, I've been playing like every Sunday ish. But yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. You'll see. We'll be here a year from now, and people will be talking about how much pickleball they're playing on the road.
Do you think it'll overpower disc golf?
No. I think disc golf will always be a thing. Disc golf is like, for sure, people, as soon as they get on an install site at the hotel, they check how close the places are. And that's a go-to thing every single install.
They do.
Now.
What'd you say?
It's strong as hell right now. Like, it's hard to, especially as recent. And when we were in Festus, Missouri, every single day. Because we were getting off work earlier. We went every single day. Sometimes we played it was 9 holes, so sometimes we played it twice.
Wow. And is everybody playing? Like, is there anybody that's not playing disc golf right now? Does usually everybody show up? That's pretty.
Almost everybody. Like, it just depends. But the only person that sat out that go round, and it was like one day, he came every other day, was Joe. I think he sat out one day of it. But, like, you can get everybody. Like,
it is a good time.
Almost everybody has their own discs and brings them every time. Like, very close to everybody.
Do you have, I mean, are you at a point now, Josh, where you have a bag and several discs and a glove and disc golf shoes and the whole thing?
Not like, because, I want one of there's like little telescopic poles to like grab your stuff from trees and stuff like that, or like out of water. I need one of those. So I'm not even to that level, but I need it.
That reminds me. I got a content clip of Hoots. He had a disc in the water and he stripped all of his clothes down and dove in the water to get his disc.
Trey told me, he was telling me on the phone the day after.
I got to release that one. It's really funny. But just go after it.
Almost everybody has at least 5 or more discs, but not everybody has a bag. But I just recently bought an actual disc golf bag and got Seth to add some patches to it, like from the channel and with my
personalized bag.
Yeah, if I had it right here, I'd show it. But that was only like $25 for the bag itself, and it's pretty much just like a weird shaped backpack. So it's
dope looking.
But I've lost so many discs that like over time I've probably owned like 30 or more discs, but I only have 9 or 10 right now.
Are you watching it professionally?
No, I mean, if a clip comes up, I'll check it out, like on YouTube or something, but I don't usually look it up. I need something to, because I need, like, some technique. Like, I'm a bad person to, like, watch something and not take the technique from it. Like, I'll just be like, I'm still just going to throw it. Like, I don't think about it enough, so I don't even want to start to understand how they throw it like they do, man. Like, it's crazy.
I went the other day to play with my dad and lost my disc on the first throw on the first hole. It was just, all right, I guess, hey, you got a mid-range? You need something.
It's unforgiving. It's unforgiving sometimes. That we went in Missouri to this other course that we only went here once because it was too much. First hole was about 900 feet, which for standard, like, I mean, that's almost 4 times as long as like a standard.
I mean, that takes 6 like solid, as far as you can throw it, disc tosses to get there.
Yeah, and it had a big pond on the left, and I think Joe lost 2 discs in that, and that's the first hole. So it's like same thing you're saying. Like, okay, what else do I do?
I mean, because it's always bad when you're playing with somebody too, and they watch you lose that first disc. You're like, can I borrow a disc now? It's like you always are asking in the negative with people when that happens, and that's some great friends if they'll still give you a disc after you've lost it the first time.
Oh yeah,
they watch you throw the same throw with their disc. Like, well, I lost yours too.
I swear I'll pay for it. I think I can't remember exactly where we were at, but I was with Griffin and Troy and a huge team. I think Raul was there as well, and somebody like paid. I think Griffin just paid Troy to dive in the water and get his disc. And then,
oh yeah, I was there.
You were there. Yeah. And then, so Troy did that. And then afterwards, Griffin like threw his disc into the river again and just goes, Troy. And Troy was pissed. He was like, I'm not just like a fetching animal. Okay. But he set himself up that way. So
that'd be a good hunter job. Hunter needs to just go out on those and then get paid. It's $20 a disc.
People, it's worth it. I mean, it's either pay somebody to dive in there or go pay 15. What are they? 15, $20 is how much a disc golf is. Disc golf disc.
Roughly.
Average. You could buy like all $10 ones. Really, if you found there's like a couple brands I think are $10 or so. So you can go cheap. But I've lost like a $25 one, $30 one almost, and I'm just like, what's the point? Throw it in the holes in the woods, and I'm just like, it's done.
Everybody used to golf, like regular golf. I guess that's just too difficult to do. I mean, did you do that much, Josh?
I think on the road I've been, and this is all the years put together. I mean, I've only been like 7 times because we went in Missouri this last time. Me and Lance and Joe and Trey. That was a pretty good time.
The biggest difference with golfing, though, is you got to have a tee time. Most of the time, back in the day, times are changing. We're not doing 10, 12-hour days anymore. But you can't really tee off at 4 p.m., 4:30 and get your round done. Also, it costs money. That's why disc golf is just a hit, because you can go out there, do it for free. Sun goes down, you can keep playing or just head out, whatever.
Yeah, the money is usually a problem with golf, too. After, if you went 2 days in a row of golfing, it'd be like, I can't do nothing now. Like,
also, you got to travel with your clubs. If you don't, then you're risking renting clubs that are so bad that it's not even worth playing. So there's just too much going on with it usually. Now that one we drove, so we were able to bring our clubs. So that's why
we all had our clubs. So that was pretty nice. That was probably a first. Something like that.
There's got to be a business opportunity there. People travel all the time. Won't you be able to like rent your golf clubs out like Turo, like a car? Man, I'm saying too much. We'll talk about this off air.
But great idea.
I mean,
come and bust their clubs up.
Yeah, but I mean, they bust a rental car up on Turo. They just pay for the insurance, and then that's too much. I got to quit talking about this. All right, next thing.
Cut that.
Yeah, cut that out. Josh, if you could have any installer that no longer works for weights, whether they quit or got let go, back on your team, who would it be? In all your years here, because you've seen a lot of people come and go, is there anyone that you miss a lot?
It's hard to say, honestly. I would say probably the most is Luke Moreau's, just because he's always down. Like whether it's God bless his soul.
Yeah, I love him.
He's just always down. It's like, let's go to the city. Let's go to the whatever. Like, we went to the Grand Canyon with him. Like, me, him, Zamar, Trevor. He was just a really cool guy.
Yeah, he was a man. I loved shooting the breeze with him on just all things politics, and he loved visiting cities. He was always down to do that, and he rarely drank ever, so he's a good DD.
Yeah, like I've heard from, I think, Jonathan or maybe like somebody. It was like 2 people, but when he goes hard, he goes hard. Because I don't think I ever saw him too crazy. But like Jonathan was telling me a funny time they went out to like there was this thing he liked. It was like called Emo Night, but it was pretty much like this place that would play that type of music all night, which like the 2000s ish punk or whatever type stuff. So. Because he described it to me too. I didn't end up going like the one time he offered it. But him and Jonathan went, and Jonathan said he got crazy. Like, Jonathan was laughing about it inside. He's like, man, he's like, he's going wild. I've never seen this. So
I actually, story we have with him. I asked to borrow his car one time to go to Walmart, wrecked it.
His personal car?
Yeah, his personal car. I took it and. I think I turned into the lot, but I just drilled the curb, flat tire, busted the rim up, had to go get a new rim, all the things.
Did you just pay for it out of pocket, or?
Yeah, I paid for it out of pocket. I just drove back to him. I was like, whatever it is, let me know, and I'll pay for it. So
how was his response? Was he mad, or was he just like, it's all good, or?
Yeah, he was more, it's all good.
Yeah.
He wasn't mad. So I appreciated that, but I felt so bad.
Yeah. Lance, who would you have? I don't even think I asked you that question. Who would you have as if anybody else?
I guess. Well, the one that never was Zach Fulton.
Oh yeah,
him. And then overall, I mean, I hate to say it because he pisses me off and frustrates the shit out of me most times. You know who it is?
I guess we know. I'm guessing Seth.
Yeah.
Oh. Shit, I honestly didn't even have Seth in my list of people. I'm sitting there thinking. That's why I was sitting there double checking. But yeah, Seth's very high up on the list.
Oh, okay. Put him up there.
That could be my number one too. Honestly, I honestly forgot about it. Seth. If you're watching this,
if you're listening,
I mean, he's still involved.
But I'm
Even
happy.
though he's gone, he's still involved, which we love.
Yeah.
Okay, you're the best.
Josh, if you could visit any city, man, what would it be? If like every week you were like, I go to the same exact city for work.
Oh, that's tough.
You got one that you got in mind? And it could be anywhere, man. It could be over in Europe if you're like, I'm going there, flying there every week. But I know you didn't have a fun stint over there getting sick.
I honestly don't think I'm a world traveler. Like I'm just one of those people that I don't do much changing sometimes. Like it's hard. But I don't know. That is a tough one. I might say Seattle, not for the city itself, but for what's around the city, like within a couple hours. And, the city's cool. Like it's fine. Like I've had a good time there. I like their big the Pike Place Market thing.
Yeah, that was
really,
sweet.
Yeah, it's really cool around there, but really it would just be so I go there and then go like hit the mountains.
Yeah.
Here, there's like 3 different cool places, or even Vancouver if you want to pop right up to Vancouver. So like if I was there for a week and I had the day or a day and a half to go do something every time, like I would be going there.
Did you like Vancouver a lot?
I didn't go. I had to leave for my house. I had to close on it a week early.
Yes, you did.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sad.
I've heard nothing but good things about that place. I need to pop up there and visit. Seattle's sweet. I mean, I was only there for like 2 days, but walking that market and everything was pretty awesome. But I never did any hiking. I didn't have time. I was more of a visit to see the city and everything. So
is Seattle where we did that rattlesnake road or whatever?
Where you guys back in the day, and yeah, we did that one recently. Like we came back and did it.
Rattlesnake Road. What is this?
I don't even know if that's what it was called, but it's a hike and it's 2 miles directly uphill. I mean, Zid almost died halfway up it.
Is this the hike that Josh said he wanted to do? Was this the one that scarred him to where now he never does like hard hikes?
No,
I didn't know if you.
I wasn't with them when they did this like originally, but I just went like at the end of last year. We were in Seattle, and a few of us went to it. The same place.
Trey Taylor did it with us. He wore jeans. That man was sweating like I've never seen before. Dude, it was seriously one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. It was really cool up top, but then I realized like, oh, as cool as this is, still not worth it. It was so bad. Like it was a hard hike.
I had a good time, but it was hard. It was like lots of stops.
Yeah. I mean, is it just rocks or is it an actual trail? It's just all uphill.
It's like a dirt path, kind of like a dirty.
Yeah. But you have to watch your step the whole time. So you're not looking up, you're looking at your feet, but you're going straight up.
And it's like this. It's like it goes this way, and then you go back this way, and you go this way. Like it just goes back and forth, but you're gradually just going uphill too on a path. Like
oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's just I think it's
now. Granted, we did chug 4 locos before we hit it. So
yeah,
that had something to do with it. Probably
heart palpitations and
just didn't expect that kind of a hike. I had no idea what I was getting into. It was so bad.
I'm surprised, Josh, that you and Allison haven't moved out west with how much y'all like it out there. What's stopping you?
I just logically can't make myself do it with spending how much ever money to move there.
Yeah, to get out there and everything.
Living there, and then it's like. Yeah, and then it's like, well, if I need to come visit home, it's going to cost this much just to visit home. And, no matter what, after a year passes, and if neither of us have gone home, we're going to really want to, it's going to get weird. I'm comfortable. I like being comfortable. And it's not a lot of these places aren't, livable places for me. I just love to visit because, I live in small-town Tennessee, but, doesn't cost a lot. I have access to what I need access to, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, most of my family or whoever I need to see is within an hour.
Yeah, they're all right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anywhere, I'd move to North Carolina though, for real.
Really?
That would be our spot.
Asheville?
Which part? Raleigh, Durham, Asheville. I mean, there's North Carolina's popping off just I don't know, real estate wise and just people moving there like crazy. And I think it's just, rich city.
I feel like it's got the Tennessee vibe. It's just like a southernish state with lots of other stuff to offer. I feel like a lot of people don't like many of the southern states, with what there is to go do. like Louisiana without New Orleans, I feel like would be a tough sell. But we like Asheville. Like we've went on trips there 2 or 3 times, but we don't want to live like right in it because that's where you go out the window on expensive and then way too much going on.
Well, Asheville's pretty. I mean, I love Asheville. It's a pretty interesting city, though. I mean, it's just there's a lot of characters that are there now.
Oh yeah, it's hipster as hell, but
all the breweries. I mean, it's super dog friendly. Like that, it's a good vibe for sure. Great vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoy it. So like, if there was one spot to really be like, where would we go right now? Like, it'd be somewhere over there because it's not that far either. Like, feel better about that.
Yeah. So we're coming down to the end here of our interview podcast here, and we have a couple questions that we usually are trying to ask everybody when they come on here. So the first one, top 5 install team. You can pick whoever you want. It's going to be a 3-week install, 4,000 sensors. It's 5 people and you for a team of 6. Who you got? It can be. What do you got? You want parameters around it? I'm good.
I want ramifications around it. Let's say you can't pick either of us.
Yeah.
All right. Wait. How many? Me and 5 people. Like
you and 5 people need an OG team of 6, like it used to be. So it would last 3.5 weeks.
And I'm doing how many? 4,000?
4,000 sensors. Amazon, Intelligrated, standard downtime window in the morning.
Not saying you would pick us, but let's eliminate the 2 of us here.
Yeah, I mean, we already know selection. We're pretty much guaranteed to be on that, but it's fine. So we want to give other people the chance. Is really what Lance is trying to say.
I think I'm gonna lead off with Jonathan because he gets it done. You can't stop him. Like he's just gonna be getting it done. I'm gonna turn my back. He's going to be there getting it done. That's all he does.
Yeah. This is for inside of work and outside of work too. Like you gotta live with these people. All right,
that's part of that because
so you're good with living with Johnny. I mean that's fun.
He takes his days off. Like we'll go do stuff, but he'll go take his day off in his room and be like chilling, and I do that too. So I'm cool with that. Trevor, just same thing. Like go outside of work. We're gonna have lots of fun. Go play disc golf or hang out at the hotel. Could do anything. Going to get a lot of shit done. The next, I got to make sure I literally forgot about Seth being fired. So
you can pick him if you want him.
No, I'm just saying I got to double check in my mind who's all available because I'm literally forgetting people. There's so many.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and put Keegan there. Just going to have to do it. If that's all he's got to do, he's a powerhouse. He's going to knock out stuff. As long as the back's fully operational, he's a great one.
Yep.
So that's
you got 2 more.
3. I might do Seth because when he was getting it done, he was getting it done.
Yeah, he was.
He had to go back and glue about 5 sensors back on that had fell off because he just glued them, touched them, and ran away. But yeah, he got a lot done.
If you need some uptime work to get completed, you'll find Seth.
He's working on all the eye level beds too.
He is. Yeah, he would always just scour like the low level stuff. Like if it's a ladder, I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But he outside of work, you can only get him. We got him a little more towards the end, but he likes to chill a lot, which I'm fine with that. And then probably Allie. Just because, like, at this point, like, we got to get stuff done, and we need her there. And like,
I was just thinking like a fast team. He's trying to get in and out. I said,
but all these people too would chill outside.
Yeah, I was about to say. I said it'd take you 3.5 weeks. You just picked a team to make it 2. Crushing it.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking like, how are we going to get it all done? And a lot of those people, we're going to go do stuff. A lot of them are going to sit out like every other night, which is cool too, because then if that's the case, me and Jonathan are going to go hit the mountain or hit the whatever. Trevor probably too. And then the next day, we'll meet up with everybody else and hang out at the patio. So
you're going to go to a local dive bar pretty much every weekend, just hanging out.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, so that's a lot of patio chilling for sure with that team.
We've had a couple. I mean, that was all we did. 3 weeks. Like that was our. Or go to dinner,
Yeah, that's the best. That's like your question. What do you do after work? Like, I mean, the patio. If you had a team that was down to chill on the patio, like that was the coolest, best thing ever. Because you got to go recap the day and then just have a few drinks, play some dice, like whatever, and listen to music.
A lot of Power 30.
The best bonding time there is in this career job. Like, it was incredible.
So fun.
Josh, room in Syracuse.
What'd you say?
Joe's room in Syracuse was a top hangout spot. It had a fireplace.
Yeah.
Oh, he had one of the big ones for everybody to come hang.
The kitchen was massive.
Man, it is always tossing the dice, opening up your room as the hangout room from beginning to install, because then you got to deal with it for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
you got to be the go-to.
I don't like to, honestly. Like, I am not a big, let's go do this in my room.
Yeah, depending on what's happening and who it is, I guess, is when I'm okay to open it up. But
yeah, I'm the same though. If I don't like my room being the room, because that's my getaway. It's where I go to hide.
It's my sanctuary, my fortress of solitude. Josh, if you could work in any other department within weights for a day, just to see what it's like for a whole week, well, which department would it be?
Probably like sales or something, just to see what it is like to pitch it or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or, I'd probably hear some stuff I don't know about really, or like some technicalities. But it would also be nice from like my side to hear what they're saying can be done, or what what's being inflated. Like what they truly might be selling that's not all the way there. Because then from my side, it's like, all right, now I know that this is how you're thinking about it or setting it up, which some of it might be understandable depending on what it is. And some of it I might be like, why you're like making my job harder. So it'd be nice to like see it from my current point and then also from their point. Cause out of everything, that's probably like the only other thing I could see myself doing, even though I can't even really see myself doing it. I'm just saying like, it would be interesting. Cause I go buy a whatever, or go to a brewery and you see in the back all these little motors or all these things, and you're like, let's go sell this in here or something. And it's like, it'd be fun to like, that'd be your job to figure that out.
See that all the time, man. You literally just seeing motors, gearboxes, all this stuff that you just start catching your eyes with it everywhere. Like, we put some sensors on that. We could probably throw something on there. If you go to the B&A, Nashville's airport, for the longest time had the ceiling open at the baggage claim. I was like, that's a take-up roller, drive roller.
Yeah, we could went on all that. I guess that's what those airport jobs would have been, though, is stuff like that.
Yeah, baggage claim the entire time.
Real quick before Luke you got one more? I have a question. I need Josh to
come on.
So Josh has always been the one that lets me know about the up and comers artists' music. He got me on Gunna early before he was a thing. Jack Harlow too, before he was even as big as he was. Who's the next come up?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Let the people know.
Dude, I really don't know. Like, honestly, every couple weeks when I'm like listening to music, I have that thought, because you told me that however long ago. I'm like, damn it, like Lance is thinking I'm going to have somebody. So, and I think about it for a minute, and I really
nothing right now.
Nothing right now. I do want to credit a friend of mine, John B. He lives in the same place I live.
Shout out John B.
He is the one that put me on both of them, because he literally sent me a Gunna song once. I didn't like the song necessarily, but I liked what was on the album. And then same thing with Jack Harlow, the Sundown song. He's like, dude, this. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. Like, it's awesome. So he got me on both those. So he might be the one that's really catching it before the catch. But I'm trying to...
Money Man 2 was one I had never heard of that you put me on.
Yeah, so Money Man, that might have been natural, because at one point I like to go on Spotify, find a song I like, and then hit like go to radio from that song.
Great call.
See what can happen. I haven't done it as much lately, but honestly, I've been liking a little country for whatever reason. I haven't been listening to a ton of music overall, but I'm liking Jelly Roll a lot. Like, honestly,
Jelly Roll's kind of killing. Drop that album. Yeah,
I know he's blowing up, kind of, but he's been cool.
So you like the Jelly Roll vibe, not like the Morgan Wallen type country that's coming
I
out.
don't like Morgan
The
Wallen.
funny thing is, Ernest is what got him on country.
Yeah,
See.
it got me definitely back in. Like, he's my top right now. Like, you could show me probably plenty of other stuff. I'm like, oh, this is good, but he's top notch. I don't know if it's because I know him through you guys, kind of, or if it like makes it
We hung
different.
out in
I just
LA.
feel like I'm like, damn, and I love his lyrics. Like, he's got really good lyrics. Like, not complete. Like, I know he writes other people's too, some like Morgan Wallen's, but it's like, I don't know, his delivery of it. Like, I like it a lot. Like, it hits a little harder from him than some of Morgan Wallen's, which I like a couple. I'm not going to sit around and listen to him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Great.
Oh, yeah.
Great episode, Josh. Thanks for coming on the Ridge, man. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me. It was amazing.
Yeah, right at an hour. We loved it.
I love it on the Ridge.
We figured you'd like that phrase.
All right, so hey, who do you think should be the next guest, Josh? If we were to tee one up,
next guest, man, I'm really hoping. Feeling like a Trevor Wire, like he's just one of our big homies that's right there, and I feel like he'd have a lot to talk about with y'all.
Yeah,
in many realms, work realm, life realm. Anything. Yeah. So that's my prediction at this point. Well, you never know.
He just got off his suspension, so we should be good. We can schedule him now.
Everybody's getting those these days.
Yeah, really. Hopefully that's behind us. Yeah, Josh, should be all right. You fly under the radar, dude, every time.
Yeah, that's how I like it.
You do. That's how you like it. You do well.
Oh yeah, boys.
I'm going to get off so I can eat my breakfast burrito before this happy hour call.
All right, boys. It was fun. Love you guys.
Peace out.